Now we move on to the activities and achievements in Chestertown in 2015. The following list highlights some of the significant developments that took place in our community in 2015. The first item, hospital oil spill remediation plan. The hospital oil spill remediation continued to be a serious town concern in 2015. In 2014, the hospital had carried out a pilot study of injecting a surfactant known as Ivysol into 3 test wells. The surfactant is essentially a detergent that mixes with oil, releases it from the soil, where it can theoretically be recovered by nearby pumping wells. The pilot test was approved by the Maryland Department of the Environment, also known as MDE, and relatively small quantities of oil were recovered during the pilot phase. Our legal and technical environmental consultants recommended that the town ask MDE officials in charge of approving the testing protocol to give the council, the public, and the press the facts concerning the impending plan to inject surfactants into the water table on a larger scale. MDE officials came to Chestertown at the mayor's request in late June and explained their rationale and answered questions. Still not totally satisfied that the remediation process was safe, a delegation of town officials, including me, traveled to the Maryland Department of the Environment on November 2nd to have an audience with Secretary Ben Grumbles and his staff. During this meeting, the town requested a consent agreement between the town, the hospital, and MDE that clearly delineates each party's responsibility for cleaning up the site and provides the town with financial assurances in the event of a worst-case scenario that might necessitate the creation of new wells. Despite our continued concerns, the full-scale injection of surfactants began in August and continues today. The consent agreement requested by the town has still not been drafted by MDE, so that's a little disappointing. Chestertown Marina project. A great deal of time and effort this year was spent designing, fundraising, and obtaining permits for the redevelopment of Chestertown Marina. The rebuilding of the marina is an ambitious undertaking, as the entire facility is in urgent need of repair due to decades of deferred maintenance in the private sector. The redesign of the marina will address infrastructure needs by replacing and raising bulkheads, raising the grade of flood-prone grounds, replacing and extending the docks, removing and replacing the main marina building, dredging the entire basin, moving fuel storage tanks out of floodplain, and building a new launch ramp and pervious parking area. Last year, in 2014, we asked the state legislature for a very large capital request of $4 million and did not succeed in getting the project funded. This year, in 2015, we discussed the marina project with representatives from Governor Hogan's office, divided the revitalization of the marina into 3 distinct funding phases, and solicited letters of support from area residents to demonstrate that this project has broad-based community support. So far, over 110 support letters have been received, with more arriving at Town Hall each day. Additionally, we have other state and federal requests for funds that have either been submitted, approved for a submittal, or already funded. We recently had the permits for all of the planned infrastructure upgrades approved by the Maryland Board of Public Works, and we'll be working with the owners of the Fish Whistle restaurant to engineer a solution for the flooding of their parking lot, which is intertwined with the town's plans to raise the grade of the land and bulkheads at the foot of Cannon Street. Stay tuned, there's a lot to be done on that project still. New item, creation of the Arts and Entertainment District and the hiring of a full-time district manager. The town of Chestertown officially received designation as an Arts and Entertainment District in the state of Maryland in June of 2015. The district provides tax incentives for artists to create works of art within the district's boundaries and also provides tax credits for property owners that make improvements to their buildings for arts and entertainment purposes. After receiving the A&E designation, the town budgeted funds to create a new full-time position for overseeing and managing this district. After an extensive search, the town hired Mrs. Kay McIntosh as its first economic development and marketing coordinator. Kay joined us in October and has already established strong inroads to progress in this area. Many thanks to volunteers in both the Greater Chestertown Initiative and the Downtown Chestertown Association for all of their hard work in assisting town staff with establishing the new A&E district. Next item, Kent County Middle School Recreation Plan. The town of Chestertown, the Kent County Board of Education, and the Kent County Commissioners submitted and received a $230,000 Community Parks and Playgrounds grant for campus-wide recreational improvements at Kent County Middle School. The town applied as the eligible agency and was notified that the grant was approved this past fall. The multi-agency cooperation involved in this project is unprecedented to our knowledge in Kent County, and it will allow us to develop a community asset that we can all use and enjoy. Goals for this year, goals for 2016, and they're just bullet points, so I'm going to blow through them pretty quickly. Goals for 2016. Keep taxes at the same rate if possible while maintaining our chartered service responsibilities. Aggressively pursue all forms of public and private funding to complete the revitalization of Chestertown Marina. Work with the Kent County Commissioners to discuss the possibility of reinstating a tax differential for Chestertown. Research and consider a pilot program with input from Washington College. Work with Washington College to design, engineer, and identify funding sources for the planned waterfront walk along the Chester River on college-owned lands between Wilmore Park and the mouth of Radcliffe Creek. Continue our work with businesses, business associations, industries, and institutions to improve the local economy and keep our storefronts filled. Support all events, festivals, and celebrations that bring our town to life. Protect the town's drinking water wells at all costs. Continue to pursue measures to protect the town's water supply, including 1, a consent agreement between the town, the hospital, and MDE that clearly spells out each party's responsibilities with regards to the ongoing cleanup of the hospital's oil spill, and 2, working with the Eastern Shore delegation to pursue a local courtesy bill in Annapolis that provides the town with financial assurances for replacing its shallow water wells in the event of a worst-case scenario with the hospital's remediation efforts.